Did you hear?
No, but
it's the Wednesday night edition, but it's taking place on Sunday.
No, that's not what you were saying.
Is today Sunday?
No, today is Sunday.
Oh, really?
Today is Sunday. And, not only that, right? You're wearing a jacket today.
Yeah, it's a special occasion.
You got your little special hanky in there and everything like that. Well, yeah, I'm all dressed up too. I'm
do you know why we're dressed up?
I know exactly why we're dressed up.
And it's a special Give Back Wednesday Sunday edition version of the Business Powwow with Darren and the Music Man. Yeah, so everybody from TakeCharge and from Pulse, what are these two wackos doing? Well, this is how we kind of like start off all our business Wednesday night business whatever, what's the name of your Business Power Hour stuff. We'd like to welcome the Pulse organization as well as TakeCharge. This evening, if you're asking what's going on, we've had about a day and a half to try to make this thing whole. We didn't really get too much time, but we're going to do the best that we can, and we're going to take Pulse and TakeCharge. And we're going to introduce some people.
You're all over the place. Let's slow down a second.
All right, so let's do
Our
this.
friend Eileen Karina, and everybody knows who Eileen is because we always say hi to Eileen. She's been on the show a number of times.
Is she on now?
She runs an organization called Pulse, as we know, and last year they started this TakeCharge initiative, which has spread all over the country.
Really terrific.
And this week, actually today, is the day to kick off TakeCharge. So, she asked us to help out today to help with the kickoff. So we're going to introduce her in real quick. And we got a whole bunch of people to get to today. We got people from all over the country.
And Canada.
And you know what? Let's ask Eileen to come on in and say hi. Hey, Eileen, how are you?
There she is.
Hi, thank you for doing this. Thank you for having us.
Good evening. Thank you for asking us.
Thank you for asking us. We appreciate that. And you know what? Our waiting room is getting huge. We got 19 people in the waiting room, other than the other people that we already have here. But quickly, Eileen, just give us a quick rundown on TakeCharge and the 5 steps to safe healthcare that you created with a number of other people last year.
Well, TakeCharge is actually an opportunity for patients or people to become well prepared to become patients if they're going to enter the healthcare system. And, with medical errors, the 3rd leading cause of death in the country, we want to make sure that people are prepared to enter the healthcare system. And guess what? We did this even before COVID hit us. And we need to make sure that the healthcare providers who are overworked, understaffed, are not working extra hard when we as patients could be taking some of the responsibility of being prepared. So that's what the 5 steps are about. All
right. So, okay. I know you have a question, Norm. Go ahead.
What are, before we get there, before we go into the question, let me just introduce some people, if I may, and we'll bring them into the screen with us. Is that okay with you, James?
That's fine with me.
Okay, so let's bring on first Beverly James, and I believe Beverly is a founding member of TakeCharge. Is that correct? Beverly, good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for joining us, Beverly.
Yes, I am a founding member of TakeCharge, along with a lot of other very helpful people. So I'm very happy to be here tonight. I'm ready to roll, whatever goes on.
Tell us a little about your background, if you can, in a snapshot.
Oh, snapshot. Okay, I'm a board member of Pulse. I'm a retired registered nurse, and I used to own my own home care agency. And I've been very passionate about patient safety, education, and advocacy.
Okay, and let's also bring out now David Fielding. David, good evening. Welcome.
David's still in the waiting room.
Yeah, David Fielding's still in the waiting room. Let's bring him in.
Should we bring everyone in now?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We're going to bring everyone in.
Good evening, David. Now. Welcome.
People are still connecting. We want to make sure everyone gets in so we can meet the people who are behind the TakeCharge campaign. And a lot of people are behind Pulse, and people who are supporting the idea that patients need to be involved in their medical care. That's what this is all about. It's not about putting all the responsibility on the healthcare providers. We need to be part of this, making the system better. So I know you called on Dave Fielding.
Yeah, well,
Dave-
David is connecting to the audio. There he goes.
So
David,
sorry.
Can you hear us? Welcome.
Yes. Hi.
Okay,
How
but
are you
David,
guys?
take a moment and introduce yourself and what you do and just a little bit of a history.
Sure. My name's Dave Fielding. I'm with Engage Caring Solutions. I'm a patient advocate, board certified. I love working with seniors and their families to help them negotiate the landscape and facilities and get the services they need in their home. I've been
Welcome.
volunteering with Pulse for a few years. I worked with the initial team on the Take campaign last year and really excited about this year.
Great. Well, welcome this evening. We appreciate you being here. Let's go now to David Halperin. David, are you on?
We gotta get David's video
I
started.
feel like I'm on MSNBC or something. Okay, David's not. How about Alina? Alina, I'm going to give your last name a shot. Nagaduba, is correct?
No, it's Ngajuba. It's
See?
Nigerian.
Well, see, you know your name. That's very good. Oh, great. Alina, tell us a little bit about what you do and what you're about with the organization.
Hi, my name is Alina Ngajuba. I am the founder of Health Strategies Reform. This is a healthcare platform. I started the campaign Take Charge because I believe in its goals and its vision. As a public health researcher, I believe that I could help the Charge campaign and get the word out there.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Alina. And you're not near, you're in Canada, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Nice.
So thank you for joining us. This
Welcome.
is an international initiative. So, we have to applaud everybody that's doing this because it really is a good cause and it can really do some tremendous things.
Eileen, can you see the list of people that are in the meeting?
I can see the list of people.
Okay, now you had given me a short list, and that was the short list that I had, except for Lori Nearbon. Lori, are you on?
Lori, I don't believe could make it tonight because,
Okay.
as you know, we pulled this together pretty quickly when we realized how important this week is because it's also Patient Safety Awareness Week. So this is it's an important time to be part of this and to be working on the Take Charge campaign and kicking this off. So
And if you remember last year, were you actually on the show and we actually did the 5 steps and we talked about the 5 steps and everything like that. So we're actually founding
We're
members.
pioneers.
We're pioneers.
yes, you are. And you interviewed our intern last year who worked.
That's right.
with us. So
Yeah.
Who did, by the way, she was terrific. Is she still with you?
she's not. She moved on. Most of the interns did move on, but we've kept in touch. And
Well, she did a wonderful job. She did a really wonderful job. Is there
Okay.
anybody in this list of participants so far that you?
Well,
you
let's if I could.
You just did.
And I'm doing that. I'm going to go through, I'm going to list the organizations that Eileen sent us a list of different organizations. Some people may be on, they may not be on. If they're on, we want them to talk and really, just tell us about how they're participating in this movement, the Take Charge movement.
Please note, though, that they're not names. These are the organizations themselves.
Right.
And the first one is a listening ear contact. Kathy Bond? Kathy, are you here?
Kathy Bond is not with us, but she's from Georgia and she is
Yes.
a patient advocate also.
Okay. Consumers Advancing Patient Safety Contact, Lisa Morisi.
She is
I
not
said
on
that right?
tonight.
She's not on tonight. We're doing good so far. Okay. Let's continue.
Well, David Fielding, we
did already.
We spoke with David.
Now we'll try to get a hold of Nick Locke from the Foundation for Quality Health. Nick, are you
No.
on?
They're 3 hours behind Washington. So
Okay, excellent. Let's keep going. Greater National Advocates Contact. Brad Bradley, or is it L. Bradley, nickname
No,
Brad?
Brad. We talked to
Oh, we
Brad
did,
before
Brad?
beginning. No, we haven't spoken to Brad yet.
Brad,
So
are you
Brad.
on?
let's talk to Brad.
Hey, Brad.
Yeah, you got to turn my video on though there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brad.
Okay.
Can't see everybody here anyway. There's too many people in this room.
There are a lot of people.
I got all dressed up for you.
There you go.
That was a mistake.
I did. I put on a jacket.
Did you? You went? That was a mistake. You're not
Was that an outerwear jacket or a sport jacket?
It's a sport jacket.
Where did you go there, Brad? I don't see you on the list.
L. Bradley.
Oh, L. Bradley. That's right. There you go. Ask to start video, my friend. There you go. Are you there, Brad? Come on down.
I am here. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Right. Where is it?
Okay, Brad, we can't see you. I'm glad you're wearing a jacket.
There we go.
There you go. And a baseball cap. Now I know who you are.
All right.
There you go.
So,
So,
yeah,
so Brad, how did you get involved with Take Charge?
you know, I believe in the mission. Like you guys, I've known Eileen for a little bit. And I run a national organization, and we're partnering up to just get the word out and help spread it. Greater National Advocates is made up of patient advocates all over the country. And, you know, you guys know about the 5 steps of the
We're going to talk about that
Right.
shortly.
Well, I'm really here because, you know, I really strongly believe that if all the first 4 steps fail, you're stuck with step 5, which is pretty much, if you need help, get an advocate and find somebody that can help you. So Greater National Advocates is trying to spread the word about patient advocates and where to find them, gnanow.org, and spread the word about the Take Charge movement and make sure that people know about it. And, you know, you'd be surprised. There's so many people who are even within healthcare that just don't even take charge of their own affairs.
So-
Lawyers don't have wills. I mean, you'd be blown away.
So, Brad, if somebody wanted to get in touch with your organization for either assistance or to become an advocate, how could they do that?
Well, they would go to gnanow.org. There's plenty of people out there that actually have the skills and the abilities and the credentials to be patient advocates. They just don't know about it yet. And that's another part of the mission. There's anybody that's been through a significant medical trauma procedure, even being a caregiver for one or multiple people, then you just get exposed to so many different things and you become certainly more experienced than a layperson that can need your help. So there's opportunities to actually become an advocate and get listed on gnanow.org. And then through our partnership with Pulse organization, you could learn a little bit about the ins and outs about what you're
Brad, I'm going to
doing.
interrupt you for a second because I'm going to invite you to another night on your own about your organization on the
All right.
Business Power Hour on one of our Give Back Wednesday evenings. So you can get a much better connection to what's the people out there who can get in touch with you, if that's okay with you.
Hey man, I'm just answering your questions right now. So
That's it. Well, you're going to have a lot more when we get a hold of you. All right, let's see if we can reach out to Robin Shapiro in the state of Washington for Health Advocate X.
She's
Is
not
Robin-
on.
She's not on. All right.
She must be sunbathing or something this afternoon. Elena, you've already spoken a little bit. New Hampshire Patient Voices. Lori Neborn, she's not here. Okay. On the Mark Patient Advocacy. My buddy Mark Berlin.
I know Mark's here.
Mark's here.
I saw Mark.
You sure? You saw me?
I
Yeah, I
saw
did.
him.
We did see you.
Not a fig Newton, everyone's imagination.
Nope, not a Fig Newton. If we can pop Mark up on the screen.
There you
Mark.
go.
How are you?
Hey, Mark,
Very
how you
good. How are
doing?
you?
Good. How's everything going, my friend?
Very good, thank you.
Very good. So tell us a little bit about your organization and how you got involved with Pulse.
Well, my organization is On the Mark Patient Advocacy Services, and I'm servicing seniors who want to remain safe at home, as well as people with disabilities wanting to remain safe at home and not in a group home. And how I got involved with Take Charge was through Pulse. Eileen's course on family-centered patient advocacy, as well as her HACK program, and it's a fascinating program. The 5 steps is very important. People forget. People should remember to do all the 5 steps before an incident occurs, whether it's a proxy, getting everything organized, medications, preparation for doctor's appointments. Very important to do that before an incident occurs. I think it's what Eileen's doing is terrific.
Well, we thank you very much, Mark.
And it's good seeing you, Mark.
Just a little note, it looks like we may be working on a leukemia concert for a fundraiser, huh?
Yes, indeed.
All right, that'll be coming up. We'll talk about that in the future. Libby Hoy from California. Hopefully, Libby, you're here from PFCC Partners.
No, she's not here. Those California folks didn't make it. The West
They didn't make
Coasters.
it.
Oh, they opened up all the bars and restaurants. We know where they are.
Yeah.
Okay, then there's an organization called Pulse Center for Patient Safety Education. Who by chance might that be?
Well, we've got David Halperin representing us tonight. If you want to.
Hi, sure. I'm David Halperin. I'm communications manager for Pulse and now for the Take Charge campaign. I've been working with Eileen for, I guess about 10 years now, and with Pulse. It's just the message, Pulse's message just seems to make such a lot of plain sense that it seems something really worth spreading the word about. And that's my role, is to try to get the word out as widely as possible. And I'm just very glad and happy and grateful that we have so many new great partners this year to make that happen even more effectively.
That's because of your whole group banding together and really advertising, getting the word out about what 5 steps and everything else is involved. So that kudos to everybody that is on this site tonight. That's really good. I'll also mention a little story. We talk about the 5 steps, and we're going to get into that in a second. Eileen has hounded us time in and time out about the 5 steps and prescriptions and yada, yada. And I said to Eileen one night,
Did she actually say yada, yada?
Yeah, she did.
She said yada, yada?
Yes, Eileen, say yada, yada again, so he believes me.
I never said yada, yada.
All right, there you go. So particularly prescriptions and your living will and whatever. And I said to her, it's so large. How do you keep something like that in your wallet? I said, I'm going to come up with an idea. So I don't know if anybody can see this or it doesn't really matter, but it's front and back. I have my prescriptions, my living will, and whatever on a piece of card stock. And I went to Staples and I had them cover it so I could keep it in my wallet nice and safe. So God forbid something happens to me and I'm not with an advocate or with my wife or whatever it may be, I have some proof here on what to do. So just a suggestion for the folks that are out there.
So Eileen, I have a question, and anybody in the audience actually can answer this for me. You know, in this time of COVID, patient advocacy is very important, but the problem is, if you're in the hospital, more than not, they're not letting anybody in the room with you. So how do you make sure that the patient is protected in these, unprecedented times that we're going through?
There's a couple different things that we're doing. We started something called Constant Remote Advocacy. There's a video on our website that shows that when somebody goes into the hospital, and what you might find sometimes is that somebody in the hospital will say, I'll call you when the doctor gets here. And the doctor's not going to wait around to get me on the phone or the family member on the phone. So Constant Remote Advocacy is holding onto your phone, calling out to a family member or an advocate or a friend, and then putting the phone down. And you stay connected. You never disrupt the conversation. You never hang up the phone. So when somebody goes to the hospital now, we have this video on our website to explain it. When somebody goes to the hospital, they dial a number, and I've done this a couple of times. They lay the phone down, and I could go on mute, but I hear the whole time the conversation that's happening. The nurse comes in and says the patient's name, they check they ask the birthday, they tell the patient what medication they're getting, and I'm listening to this conversation. Anyone could do this. So when you go to the hospital, the most important thing to me is to bring, besides your list of medications and your questions, is to bring your phone and your charger to make sure that you could stay connected. Not a phone call, stay connected. And it's overnight. It could be done overnight. So when I go to sleep, I go on mute and I shut my camera off, but the patient's camera is on. So when the nurse leans over the counter, the bed, I could see the nurse leaning over the bed. So there's ways around it, and we found that this works really well to be a remote advocate.
So how many people have actually utilized this remote advocate.
Well, we've done
you know,
it. I've done it a couple times with people. But again, I don't know who's using it. We're hoping everyone would use it, because as it becomes more common and more comfortable, everything we do at Pulse and that we're asking other organizations to do, like Mark's organization, like these organizations across country, and advocates at Greater National Advocates, we're doing this because we want to make it easier for the next person. It's for so many years, healthcare professionals have taken full responsibility of better outcomes and the bad outcomes. And we as patients need to take over and start taking charge of our own care. And this is not about health. Remember, this is not about our health. It's about our health care. It's the journey leading to better health.
David, David Fielding, you have a comment you want to join in on?
Yeah, no, that works great. And we're just starting to use that system and that process with patients who are alert. But when patients are sicker and can't activate their phone, then the use of an advocate is really critical to be able to negotiate the labyrinth of the healthcare organization, whether it's a hospital or a nursing home or whatever, so that we can get to the right people and activate, whether it's the patient advocate in the hospital or administration or nursing. We can negotiate through the people to get to the right people and to actually get the phone on the unit to ring for the nurse. And that's invaluable. Understanding when to call, who to talk to, who to avoid, when you're getting the runaround, it helps, because families easily get frustrated. They're not sure who to talk to. They'll listen to a clerk and believe everything and get nowhere.
All right. So yeah, thank you, David. We really appreciate that input. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to play a little bit of a game here. And I want everybody to raise their hand. Don't just jump in with the answer. And we're going to play a little bit of a game, and you may or may not be able to get an 8x10 glossy of Norm autographed, okay? Because he does
microphone.
With a microphone. He does carry them around. So, but what is step one? I want somebody to tell me what step one is of the Take Charge initiative.
Of the 5 steps.
Of the 5 steps.
And don't cheat.
You can cheat if you want to.
No cheating.
You can look at the
because I have the answers right here. I know if someone's cheating.
I know that.
Alina
So
knows.
who wants to raise their hand and be the first one?
Alina knows.
Okay, Alina, you do it.
Let's bring Alina on.
And Alina has something else to share also.
All right, so let's have her share both things.
So Alina, there you are.
Okay, so the first step of the Take Charge campaign is to complete your advance directives.
Okay, what does that mean?
Very good.
What does that mean?
Well, it's a piece of paper that gives a voice to patients through their families.
All right, excellent. So what else do you have to share? And Eileen said you have something else you wanted to share with us?
It's a question.
Okay.
It's like it's a riddle that I would like to ask people.
Okay. By the way, if you want to know if he's married or not, he's hooked up. So don't ask him that.
No, don't worry. I'm a mom and wife, so thank you very much. I'm taking.
All right, I just wanted to be sure.
I am so sorry for that, Elena.
Please tell us the riddle.
Go ahead. What's the riddle?
Okay. So, dear Comer, today I have an appointment with my doctor. These are my current medications. These are my current diagnoses. And these are my previous diagnoses. What exactly am I? A diary, a medical journal, or a friend?
Friend.
No.
I am your friend.
I'm going to say a medical journal.
Yes.
See, I got it right.
50% guess.
Did somebody else, David Fielding, did you have also have one? What did I do?
I'm gonna add David back.
There he
David,
is.
oh, you're muted, my friend. Unmute
Take
yourself.
your mute off.
Unmute
Sorry,
There you go.
I'm working on my second backup.
Okay. So
And
actually,
wait,
David,
Uh,
while we got you, what is step number 2?
Step number 2 is maintain a personal record and a list of current medications.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Good job.
Excellent. So what do you have to share with us?
Well, I did a little quiz and there's 5 choices. So let's see if the 2 of you can figure out what the correct
saying a
answer
word.
is. Okay.
I already
The
got
Take
it.
Charge campaign is a new basketball coaching strategy to increase the number of defensive fouls to stop opponents from driving the lane. B, a new policy with retail salespeople when they must revoke a customer's credit card for delinquent payments. C, a new app designed to recharge your cell phone by stealing power from other cell phones within a 25-foot radius of your location. D, a 5-step program to make healthcare safer for everyone. Or E, a new training program to empower employees to climb the corporate ladder by eliminating competition in the office.
Are you asking us individually
Well-
or take a, one second. He's going to give you the
No,
answer.
it's not E, Norm.
Oh,
It's actually D, right? Right, David?
B is correct.
there you go. That's why he's here. He's the business head. I'm just here for my eyeglasses.
Good
That's it.
job. Good job.
Norm looks good. Thank you, David. Really appreciate that. All right, who wants to give us number 3? Who? Come on, somebody raise their hand. Tell me what number 3 is.
Oh, I'm going to call somebody.
Bradley got it. Bradley's got his hand up.
Bradley, where are you?
Bradley, do you
There
want to
we are.
share a story about that hand you showed
Oh.
us?
They're going to do a whole separate show on. Step 3 is getting ready for your doctor's appointment. Like, know what questions to ask and know why you're going there. Just get
So
ready.
wait a second. I just, if I make a doctor's appointment, I just don't show up. I know what I want to ask. I'm sick. I'm going to tell them what my pains are.
Yeah. Sometimes you go to the doctor and you feel like you're going to be able to do everything. And next thing you know, you get freaked out by like all the machines and the bleeps and distractions and stuff. And next thing you know, you forget everything that you were going to tell them. And when what are you going to do? Call back and go for another physical? No, I mean, you got that one shot. Take advantage of it. Get it right the first time.
So what kind of questions should I ask? I don't even know what questions I
He
should ask.
doesn't know.
You have a list of
He's gonna tell you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to go in there and I'm going for a physical. What should I be asking?
First thing you should maybe think about is getting a list of all the medicines you're taking, because sometimes people get medications from more than one doctor. So I mean, that's a really, really good starting point. And it's really
Does that include the illegal medications?
well, you know what? Depends where you live on that, and depends how old you are.
That's right, because some states it's not illegal, and some states it is illegal.
But no, it absolutely does. It includes everything. I mean, honesty is the only policy when it comes to talking about what's going on with your health. So just know what you're, get ready for it. Prepare yourself. If you are doing illegal things, plan on telling it to your doctor.
Mhm.
That's all part of step 3.
All right,
And you
excellent.
did that well.
Thank you, Brad. All right.
Brad, you just got crossed off.
Oh, I stopped his video. I'm sorry, Brad.
Okay, who else we pick on
There we
next for
go.
question number 4?
Let's start his video again.
Eileen, who should we choose?
I think question number 4 would be, let's try Mark.
We're on the same wavelength there, Eileen. I was thinking Mark myself. He keeps jumping off my screen though. Can't grab him. Hold on. Where did Mark
I
go?
got him.
Let me say hello to my friend Joe Ponte, who's out in the audience. Hey, Joe.
All right, Mark. How are
Yes.
you, my friend?
I am doing well.
Step number 4. What is
4.
step number 4 and what is step number 4 all about?
Ask caregivers to wash their hands to prevent infection, reduce infections. Very important. People forget. They come into the room after seeing another patient. They may forget to wash their hands, or they may be in the hospital, and they're on the floor for the first time. They may come into the patient. Doctor, nurse may forget.
Besides washing hands, should they wear gloves?
To wash their hands? No, no. When they
No,
wash
not
their
to
hands,
wash their hands.
Wash
When
their
they're finished, should they also wear gloves?
they may, they absolutely may. But the important thing is if they don't want to, a good trick that I was taught by a very important lady who taught me well is to always have a piece of chocolate or a candy in case, to ease the tension in the room. Thank you, Eileen, for that.
Eileen, let me ask a question too. If people want to make donations to you, we're going to do this a couple of times tonight. If they're going to want to make a donation, how and what do they do? Where do they go? Or who do they call?
Oh, they could absolutely make a donation to TakeCharge.care. That's our website, TakeCharge.care. I think David was going to put it in the chat. That they could send a donation there. We have a GoFundMe page there that they could. We're all volunteers. We're actually volunteers, and the work that we're doing. Any donations, and I do want to introduce actually because I know Karen Isaac is on, and she's one of our sponsors. So I do want to acknowledge that she's here, and maybe she wants to say something about the importance of Take Charge also. And also our board chair is on, Marissa Abram, but her camera's not showing, so I don't want to overstep my bounds with that. But they can make a donation, and it really is to keep us up and running, to get keep the website up and running. We hold a lot of programs, and the Take Charge campaign leadership from around the country meet every Friday at 1 o'clock. So I'm hoping that if people are hearing this and they want to get involved, they can contact me through the Take Charge website, or leave my email where you could reach me, or we could talk about how your organization could become a leader in the Take Charge campaign. So, so thank you for asking that. I didn't expect that, but if people want to make a donation, they absolutely can through the TakeCharge.care website.
Oh, we're going to do it again before the night's over.
Okay, well. So you know, we have a sponsor on. Okay, you said it was Karen. Is that what you said?
Karen Isaac. Yep.
Oh, there we go. I see.
Who is a long-time advocate and a mentor to many, many people.
All right. So, Karen, are you willing to come on? I'm going to add you to Spotlight.
Yes, and I can answer number 5.
Okay.
Number 5 is hire an advocate. Get yourself an advocate. And that absolutely can be your friend, can be somebody you grab a hold of at the hospital if you're walking in there and they're willing to do it, and you can explain to them what your wishes are and make sure that you are not there alone. And I am a board certified patient advocate, so I can say Health Advocate X is one of the places where we get a lot of our training. We have to have many hours of training and take a test, and then we have to get continuing education credits to continue our training. And I took Eileen's course a couple of years ago because there is just so much need out there, and people always say to me, I wish I knew you a year ago. I wish I knew you 5 years ago. And this is what I think the Take Charge program is about, that we want everybody to know that, there's just these simple things, that you have rights when you go in there to the hospital, and when you prepare yourself to go to see your doctor, don't be afraid, you have rights. And people always say, oh, you're going in there to fight with the doctor, but doctors really appreciate it. They appreciate it at the hospital when my clients come in there and they say, I have a card. Like, you have a card? I have a card I give to my clients to say I have a healthcare proxy and power of attorney, and her name is, and this is her phone number. And I say, put it right with your Medicare card or your insurance card, because that's what they're looking for. How do they get paid? And make sure that, they know to, hey,
that's what they're always looking for.
I got somebody that wants to speak up for me.
So Karen, let me ask you this, right? You mentioned earlier that, anybody could be an advocate for you, a friend or family. But you also said there's a lot of hours that go into learning how to be an advocate. How can we teach our family members to be advocates without them having to spend all of these hours and be certified?
Yeah, well,
I think the course. That's what the course does.
Yeah, that's what the course does. Yeah, it gives you that, I mean, you're going to ask that question. And, unfortunately, a lot of doctors and lawyers are my clients because they don't really know themselves. So I'm also the co-chair for an organization called the Senior Umbrella Network of Queens. There's senior umbrella networks, and there's many professional organizations that anyone can Google patient advocate, and I am a member of one of the first people that Brad spoke to. Probably when you Google patient advocate, you're going to get Alliance of Professional Health Advocates, which is our national organization and directory of people who are professional advocates.
Well, thank you, Karen.
Now,
We
that
really
card
appreciate
that you showed us, Karen, is that something you get after you get certified?
No, it's something that I made for my own clients. I specialize. I mean, there's so much need out there. You really have to specialize. So I am a mentor for people who want to become a patient advocate. I always tell them to go take Eileen's course immediately, first off. But you really have to specialize. If you're going to be if you're going to be helping people, but better, right now, our biggest problem is the usurping of the words patient advocates by insurance companies and the hospitals who use it for a customer service person to basically squash your complaints. So that's why I say you're probably better off just getting somebody, I would say that most of the advocacy happens from the daughter that's sitting with the guy next to you in the bed. And she comes over and says, hey, that's not right what you're doing. Or, this isn't clean for the patient. I didn't see you, you're not washing your hands. So, just anything that you can do to make it, you aware that, you don't have to be the victim lying in the bed. Just say, I need somebody, I need somebody to stand up for me. I don't like what's going on here, or I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'd like somebody to hold my hand.
I see
Between
David Fielding.
between TakeCharge and Pulse, are there any virtual classes as such that you give?
Our program, Norman, is now virtual. Our 8-hour program. We're actually in the midst of it right now. Beverly has been doing it with me, and we have another volunteer that we do this program that we're partnering with Sonography School out in Ronkonkoma, who is allowing us to give the program. We've always done it in person, but we had so many people that who were far away who wanted to take this program. So we're doing it's 3 Thursday nights. It was last Thursday, it's this Thursday, and it's the next Thursday, 2.5 hours a night. And it is an advocacy training meant for family members or friends, and for people who may want to become an advocate. I see David Fielding has a hand up. So
I was just going to add him in because I'm sure he's got some additional comments he wants to add.
Well, it's interesting. Karen actually went through the Pulse program first, but I also went through it a few years back. And that really started and kind of ignited my passion for patient advocacy. And it was after doing the family training program at Pulse that both Eileen and I both then studied and prepared and took the exam to become board certified patient advocates. Mm-hmm. And I started my own business doing patient advocacy. Eileen's been doing it for 25 years. So, but it's been a wonderful opportunity. But one of the new programs that we're starting with Pulse and Greater National is a program called ACEs, and that's Advocates Collaborative Educational Series. And we're providing education and training programs on selected topics and skill areas for advocates at both the professional, organizational professional, and family caregiver advocate levels. So whether they're professional advocates or paraprofessional or unprofessional advocates, we want people to develop advocacy skills. And so that's one of the ways that, we're showing our commitment to educate families and patients to be able to speak up for themselves. I know that all of the advocates that I've worked with, colleagues in the field, all believe that a big part of what we do is we help patients and families learn how to advocate for themselves. The goal is not for them to be dependent upon us, but to help develop a base of skills and a confidence level and an understanding of the healthcare system so that they can take responsibility, take ownership, and negotiate it confidently and successfully.
And that's always,
can I say that is, part of the test is to say that your the boundaries, and a lot of what Eileen talks about in the course is that we're providing education. We are not making decisions for anybody, and also that we're collaborating, because I met David, and then I had to grab him and Tim right after I met. 5 minutes after I left, met him, I grabbed him and brought him right over to my client to help me at a nursing home. So
I think what I really want to bring out is the fact that with Greater National Advocates, which is very unique, is that they don't have, advocates don't get charged a fee to be part of that organization. And it is a great opportunity for people who want to start out as an advocate or long-term advocate to start their business out with Greater National Advocates. Also, Pulse, we've never charged for our advocacy services because we are not long-term advocates. We work with patients and their families to be advocates for each other. And that's what the Take Charge campaign, I want to come back to the Take Charge campaign. That's what it's about. If you're on Zoom with your family through this quarantine time, you can get on Zoom with a family member and start talking about your healthcare proxy form. It's not all, it's not every item of safety. It's the basic 5 steps that matter. If you have a child going off to college and they're 18 years old, they need a healthcare proxy, or their family, their parents are not going to automatically be able to make decisions for them if they end up unconscious in any way. So we want to recognize that 18 or 80 is an adult and they need to start taking responsibility. We just finished a program with 17-year-olds in high school in Montana. We did a program with a group of them getting ready to take on their responsibility of being patient. And that's what Take Charge is about. Stop expecting the healthcare providers to get it right 100% of the time. It's not going to happen. And although we look to blame after an error or an injury happens because of the wrong medication or there was a mix-up or a misdiagnosis, we need to start taking responsibility. The funding goes to research, goes to academia, goes to the hospitals, all about patient safety. Well, they haven't gotten it yet. So we have to stop coming in unprepared and allowing them to make these mistakes, allowing them to forget to wash their hands. They're human, mistakes will happen. We know how to stop it. And that's why we're really anxious to get this movement across country and into Canada, because it's that important that the public starts taking responsibility. And advocacy and the healthcare proxy are not the same thing, but an advocate can be the link to the patient and keep that relationship between the patient and the healthcare provider safe and respectful.
Now, Eileen, this Take Charge initiative, it's not just for this week, right? This is the week of Patient Safety Awareness Week. But the Take Charge initiative is something that you guys do all year long. Not only that, every month, if I'm correct, every month there's a different step that's highlighted.
Right. The way it works is of course, it's all year. We'll always work on this. It's become our prime focus at Pulse, and I'm hoping other organizations also. But the kickoff is the month of March, because this week is Patient Safety Awareness Week. And then for the month of April, we do step 1. For the month of May, we do step 2. And each month leading up to September, which is the World Health Organization Patient Safety Day, is when it will close off the campaign. But the initiative goes all year. It's the campaign, the 5-month campaign. And I do want to mention that you might see memes out there or articles related to the 5 steps. We hope you'll share them. If you see the Take Charge campaign or Take Charge logo out there on any social media, please share it. It's a reminder that you're involved in Take Charge and that you're supporting Take Charge. I know I'm talking a lot, but I want to make sure that anybody who has questions or comments may not be part of the campaign. I'd love to hear from other people if that's okay with you guys, Norman and Darren.
Well,
Absolutely.
absolutely. We got Alina that wants to add something. All right. So Alina, you're muted, dear.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that not everyone knows about the advanced directives, and with the Take Charge, this gives patients the opportunity to use this legal document to be able to express their healthcare wishes and give their family members the right to make those decisions.
All right. Thank you, Alina. We
And the
appreciate
website is full of information. So if there's any question about what it means, TakeCharge.care, the information is there. We want to make it as easy as possible.
Well, let me ask a question too. Outside of the people that are officers or in charge in any which way of Take Charge or of Pulse, is there anyone that's online now that would like to make any comments on how this program has affected you and helped you and how you've helped some other people? Anybody out there right now want to say a few words?
Raise your
Mary?
hand. Raise your hand.
I saw
I don't know
Mary
if there's-
Brower.
There's got to be somebody who wants to say
Yeah,
something.
Yes.
I'm trying
Can you hear
to,
me?
open up Mary Brower. Yeah.
Okay. I've known Eileen Karina for a number of years, and we ended up with my son, who was on here before. I didn't go down pictures to see if he's still here. Ended up with a rare disease that we didn't know that was genetic, that we didn't know we had in the family. And I took the original course that she had. And with Eileen's assistance also, he was hospitalized for a month. I didn't realize I could stay there. She let me know that I could stay there, and I slept at the hospital for a month. I then slept at the nursing home for 2 months. And there were a plethora of errors that happened in that time. I had a notebook. I was keeping his ventilator readings and stuff. And in both places, they changed the vent and didn't change the readings. And he was popping all over the place. He recently got COVID. Now he's on a ventilator at night. He has trach, but during the day he isn't. And he went to the hospital and couldn't go with him, because he's an adult now. And we gave him an iPad as opposed to a phone. And I'm talking to him and he needs to be suctioned. I said, well, ring the bell for the nurse. Rings the bell. I'm still talking to him. Ring the bell for the nurse again. Still talking to him, and he's getting worse. I finally had gotten the phone number. I finally had to call the nurse's station to get somebody to come in and suction him before he could have a serious problem. So just the fact that I knew that I could do those things was as a result of the course. I also, when he was leaving the hospital the first time, checked his medications, and they were giving him some of the wrong medications. So again, I was there. I had my list from Eileen's training, from the advocacy training, as a family advocate, I guess you'd call me. And went through the list and said, no, this is wrong, or that's wrong, or, you're not giving him medication, or come back here, take his temperature again. And he did have a temperature. No, he doesn't have a temperature. Take it again, because I can tell he's got a temperature. Those sort of things. I was able to be there for his first hospitalization and catch some of these errors. And the second one with the iPad, with use of the iPad, we were able to help him. And he was in medical ICU, so it's not like he was just left alone in a bed somewhere, but he's supposed to have additional care. So
Thanks,
this
Mary.
program really helps people to understand. And I actually carry a bag with all his information in it.
Mary, just want to interrupt for a minute, because what we do with that is we break it down into the 5 steps.
Okay.
Because that was a lot of information. I'm not asking you to do that, but that was a lot of information. So to help people focus that this isn't just a lot of information, each one of those things that she just shared goes under the 5 steps. And that's how we work the 5 steps to safer healthcare, is by being able to show people each piece of it. We don't go into a lot of different things, but each one of those safety measures falls under the 5 steps. And that's how we help people focus on this.
Well, thank you, Mary, for sharing your story, and we wish the best for your son.
All the best.
All the best for your son. Anybody else, Eileen, that you see on here that could, talk about their experiences and how it really made a difference in their lives?
Anybody want to share? I see people dropping off. I got to tell you, I'm getting messages that there's an outage on Long Island.
Is there?
Yeah, Beverly got knocked off, and a couple of people are, I don't know who else is.
Welcome to show business.
Yeah, the wind knocked their, she said, I'm sitting here in the dark, and I got a bunch of text messages, so I don't know who else sent anything.
Okay.
but there's so I just want to share that these are the 5 steps. This is Patient Safety Awareness Week. We're hoping that the people who are listening to this could play a part in sharing this message and being part of this message. And I think we can actually save lives by doing Take Charge. And we're on Facebook. Take Charge discussion is the Facebook page, and LinkedIn. Please look for us on all the social media and share our information.
So one more time, how can they get in touch with you and
donations?
And donations. How can
They can get in touch with me by my email, or they can go to the takechargecampaign@gmail.com. They can go to the website, takecharge.care. They can call me at 516-579-4711. And I see Roberta had her hand up. I'd love to hear Roberta's, if Roberta has something to share. If I could unmute Roberta.
Yeah, we will do that.
I just lost her. She was there.
Here it is.
There she
Here.
is. I'm gonna add her to the spotlight.
Hi, Roberta.
Hi, Roberta.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
All of you. So everybody is talking about, specific instances and things that have happened to them. But I took the course, and I think it would do well for lots of people to take this as an active thing. That's something that if you are a particularly nervous, crazy person like I am, that can help you. If this happens to you, you can be prepared. And I think that it is so important, because most of the time, if it doesn't affect us, we think, I don't need that. It'll happen to somebody else. It won't happen to me. But in a flash, it could be you. And all of these things are that Pulse is doing, that Take Charge campaign is doing, are vitally important. And I know for me, if nothing else, it has given me the sense of feeling more in control when I have to deal with a doctor, even on a normal day, nothing major. And so I can't stress enough for anybody who's out there listening that don't think of it as, oh, it's something I'll do if that happens to happen to my family or to me, but to be proactive and really take these things to heart and be prepared beforehand.
Thank you, Roberta. Yeah, so so if people want to look at the TakeCharge.care website, if you know groups that are looking for speakers, if you want to help get the word out about Take Charge, we'd love to have you involved in your organization. And if you're, Darren, you work with businesses. The idea is not to look on the outside, it's to look on the inside. If a business owner or a business person gets sick and they get rushed off to an ambulance and they don't have their medication, or they're mixed up medication, and there's been so many people that take medications and then they get side effects, and then the doctor treats the side effects and they get more medication. So there's so much to the Take Charge campaign that can go through human resources to educate people on becoming more involved and empowered as patients. So we really, really want people to take the Take Charge campaign seriously and start looking at it and help us share this message.
And Eileen, that's a great thing that you point out, because I do work with my clients and I do the what ifs, right? What if something should happen? What if you had to go to the hospital, especially in this COVID time, where I've had clients who are in an office atmosphere and all of a sudden they find out somebody comes into work and they get a phone call saying they've tested positive, or, they've been in contact with somebody positive, which creates a ripple effect throughout the office. That's one of the things that we plan for. And you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this pledge to you today. I'm going to take charge. I'm going to make that part of my training for my CEOs and my executives that I work with, to say, hey, look, this is something you should roll out. This is something you should teach all of your people and make it part of your HR program.
Oh, well, hold one second.
What was that?
You say you're going to do that. Why don't you tell everybody what it is that you do?
Well, okay. So for those of you who don't know what I do,
everybody.
Which is, wow. So I'm the president of CBMS Consulting Services, where we're accountants that actually are more business advisors and business coaches than anything else. We help people run their businesses better, and we give them all that advice, and we can become part of their team to help them grow. So that's a big part of what we do. And I know what you do. You should be, with all the organizations you touch, they should know about Take Charge.
Absolutely.
You know, with Friend Entertainment, you guys, you're all over the place. You're touching everybody.
So let me tell whoever doesn't know what Friend Entertainment has been doing for the last 33 years. Come April, we've been raising money for charities. We put on concerts around the country for charities. And it's as simple as that. And since COVID, where I was almost out of business back in March, I kind of like reinvented myself, and we stream concerts around the country, and actually they go around the world. And our next show, for an example, is for ACLD, which is Adults and Children with Learning Disabilities. And that's going to be on April 10th. And as an example, Billy Joel. It's a tribute show to Billy Joel, and I can help anybody out there, no matter where you are in the country, help you raise some money for your charity. And that's what we do. And that's how we got in touch with Eileen.
Yes.
We met networking, and I said to her, why don't you give it a shot? Because we have a special, which is Darren's special of the month, my special of the month, called Give Back Wednesdays.
Yeah, that's why Give Back Wednesdays really started, because of the work that Norm does.
Fundraising.
And, you know, meeting people like Eileen and Pulse and everybody else on this call. It's all about you guys that give. And we want to give back. And that's why
we
we're
want you
here.
acknowledged.
You know, we're here to make sure that, you know, the word is heard. And, you know, that's the big part of what we want to do for you.
And we will do anything for Eileen.
I just want to share that Joe Ponte also, who's on here, got me a speaking engagement at the Island Park Library on July 25th at 11 a.m. If you want to check out their website. Is it
Joe Ponte is the bomb. He is so connected.
I hope I don't have the wrong library. I wasn't thinking.
March 25th.
March 25th. March 25th.
March 25th.
March 25th. Thank you for that.
Early.
Yeah, so making those kind of connections to teach the community about Take Charge. I'll be doing a presentation. It'll be on Zoom, so everybody is welcome. Please check out their website and get the information. And if you like what you see, you could do the presentation too to your community. So it's a great way to get out there and meet people and talk about what's really important.
Absolutely.
And guess what? It's after 8.
It's after 8. Thank you guys tremendously. I'm so
Right.
glad you came. Thank you for coming, and you'll sign us off.
I will sign us off. Does anybody want to give any last words of wisdom, or, you know, inspiration,
Or tell a joke?
Or tell a joke? No?
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. You know, Eileen, as always, you know, we love having you on. You know,
You're our girl.
you're our girl.
Thank you.
And-
Love being with you guys. You're
Even though you called us a knucklehead. So
yada 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 yada.
if people get to see our video one day on a regular Wednesday, I'll bet you can pick out the spot.
I'll be there Wednesday.
All right. All right, Eileen. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks.
Nice to
everybody.
meet everybody. Thank
All right.
you.
We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. You know, again, anybody who is here tonight, you know, your organization, you're a nonprofit, you want to get your word out, contact us, because we do have Give Back Wednesday. Once a month, we feature a not-for-profit.
631-698-9696. 631-698-9696. That's to me. Or you can get in touch with Darren at
844-987-CBMS. That's 844-987-2267.
And somebody Marissa put in the chat, kicked off Patient Safety Awareness Week by hitting the donate button on the Take Charge campaign.
That's it. Do that. So again, Take Charge, you can find it on LinkedIn. You can find it on Facebook. You can go to the Take Charge website, you know, and guys, help out, because these people are doing some great work for everybody.
for everyone.
So we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and we will see you guys real soon on the Business Power Hour.
On Wednesday,
on
7
Wednesdays,
p.m.
not on Sunday.
Right here.
Thank you
Good night,
guys.
everybody.
Good night. Thank